Welcome back to another episode. Just a friendly reminder to please like, comment, and subscribe. Greatly appreciated. Today is February 25th. Wow, March right around the corner. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of Michigan basketball, Pistons basketball. Michigan had a tough little, played a tough game against Duke. Neutral site. Couldn't hit the side of a barn. I don't know. Is that how the term goes? The joke goes, but only lost by like five. I think there's definitely some questionable calls in there as well that created that margin. Definitely changes changes the game in a lot of different parts, in my opinion. It was some other Pistons. They had a little street fight with the Spurs Monday night. Came out of the break. Played Chicago, dominated them. Um, Cade went ballistic in the Garden when they played the Knicks that first week. Probably touch on that quite a bit, and then also just dive into that Spurs game and what they got going here the next couple of weeks. They do got a little bit of a gauntlet on their hands in a dogfight right now with OKC. But yeah, I'll kick it over to you, E. Let's start off with Michigan. Just wanted to kind of see your thoughts on that Duke game. Just what things looked like last few weeks or week.
You wanted, I think a game like that might determine the number one overall seed. I think that's literally probably what it could come down to. Assuming all things constant, that Duke will probably make it to like their ACC championship game. We'll probably make it to ours. Assuming all things kind of constant, it'll probably come down to that. And so, so they hate to give that up, but I'm sitting there at halftime in enemy territory, at a Michigan State household, and I'm sitting there telling myself, we're in it, we look okay, but this is not our game. We're sitting there, I think it's in the game at halftime is like what, 35-33. I know how much we like to get up and down the court, how much we like firepower. I would feel a lot better if that was even 45-45, or something like that. But I think that's more of where the game would head if it's trending in our direction. So the fact that it was a slower paced game, I knew that we went for a dogfight. Like you said, we couldn't shoot. Cadeau was 0 for 7 until 0 for until the last probably 3 minutes of the game. The Boozer kid looked good flying around. He was a playmaker. He looked good. I think they did things defensively towards us that we have not been able to see in the Big Ten yet. Overall, I think that would be a plus heading into March. Just a different look, different skill set. Very well coached team, and then obviously them calls. You don't want to lean on them too much. I think the goaltending, even if that is reversed, it doesn't guarantee us to win a game. But I think that stole all momentum. That's a goaltend, and they stopped the play. That could have easily been a dunk or a layup on the other side. That's a 4. You see a couple of plays where Boozer got his 5th foul, would have fouled out the game. Both teams stopped completely during that foul when he hacked them, and then they realized, oh, there's no foul. Picked right back up. Seen another one of them jersey pulling our players. All that type of stuff. And the one where this straight push off, he went, Michael Jordan in championship push off on him, just right all the way to the baseline, and no call, drain that jumper. I think any of those calls, or half those calls go our way. Not to mention a couple other ones. I think it's a different game. We also,
I think that goaltending one was the biggest. I think that was like
yeah,
going down, like being down what 5 instead of being down. We would have been down 3, if I'm not mistaken,
I think that's right.
with like a minute and a half left, something like that.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
a major call.
yeah. But no, I'm with you. I think I said they played tough. You gotta imagine like they're not gonna shoot that bad again. And I don't know if it was James, he screenshot like the little just like those players aren't gonna all play that bad again. I think like McKinney, Gayson, like Shetter, Gale, I think they combined like 5 of like 30 or something crazy. That I don't think that'll happen again. Yeah, so I like how he was able to kind of carry, just like set the tone.
Mhm.
Really to kind of keep things close going into half. But you need a little bit more from him. I don't know. He's kind of being weird in the press conference afterwards. I'm like, bro, you kind of got pushed around a little bit by I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't. Yeah, I think we could do a whole podcast on that. I think in general, I'll just leave it at this. That was a bad look. It you even if you just put the dressing on it. Hey, he's a good player. He played tough today.
yeah.
If we match up again, I would look
He
for it.
almost dropped
But
triple double on you. He dropped
yeah,
triple double on him, damn
yeah,
near.
yeah. No, he
So I was,
kind of he acted like he was the freshman, and then when you seen Boozer answer, it looked like a well polished 5-year senior. But outside of that, yeah, it's I'm gonna say I don't want to say you gotta get used to winning because I hope he does not. But it, I just I want to take him and say like, hey, you gotta this shit matters as far as like even the little
yeah.
tiny things like that as far as like not so much for for us too, but for your career like that's a bad look as far as just keeping shit going. But
Well, you had us
overall,
videos circulating about talking about fuck Purdue, I mean, it was a while back, but like you just got to kind of
yep,
like read the room on that.
yeah. No, very awkward moment. And then Johnson had to step in and kind of give a well polished answer for us. Um, it's kind of like he's kind of like glitched in the Matrix or some shit. But
Yeah.
regardless, man. And then I think Duke was one of the better teams. You obviously in all of college basketball. And I think you seen what you had to go against. You seen how bad, and I don't think you'll play to that level. I do think your defense affect how bad we play, but I think you can take that and move forward. You bounce back strong versus Minnesota, locked in. Share your win share the Big Ten championship
Yep.
with a couple of games to go. Probably could win it all. The regular season that is with this lockup on the road at Illinois this Friday. Illinois, another formidable team. I think they're sitting there probably, I forget, it's a chopping block 2 or 3, 4, but somewhere in that 2, 3, 4, the Big Ten. So they can come and get you. You will be a staple win for them. So, you know, um, I guess what are you looking forward to going into that game? Hostile environment, probably for the rest all the marbles in the regular season.
hmm Yeah, and I'm looking forward to just seeing um what kind of fire they come out with. I mean, you got the share. I even hate that the social media posted like, it's like wait till you already won like a share of it. Wait till Friday. Like, 'cause I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're, Dusty should have them going and everything, but it is kind of weird having it locked up with like what 3 games left in the regular
Yeah.
season. Still got like state next week, like next Sunday or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yes. On the
um,
A.
yeah, usually I don't know. You usually like to be a little, win it, a couple games prior. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of like to have a little bit more at stake. So it is just interesting to have it locked up like a week and a half left of regular season. So you just hope they're able to go in there and just handle business. Illinois pretty good. They got a freshman, I think, dropped like 45. I don't know a ton about him to be
Mhm.
honest. I know they got Page's kid. They're always, like you said, formidable team. They got a good little program. Been really good the last few years. So it'll be a good
Yeah.
test.
No, I think they're similar to us as far as they love similar to us now, as far as they love the transfer portal. They're hitting that portal hard. Obviously, Peja's a kind of a caught favorite from our childhood, as far as just one of the first dudes with just a green light from the 3 point line. So, and his son, he would he play at Cal? I want to say
He
Stanford,
played
somewhere
at
out west.
Stanford, then Cal,
Yeah,
then
yep,
yeah,
yep.
then he went to.
Yeah, so he's doing his circuit, but outside of that, he's a solid player. The kid, I'm blanking on his name. I should put up. I want to say it's like it starts with a
Wa-
K, Keaton or Keontae or some shit. But
Keaton Wagler.
yep. And he definitely. I mean, anybody could drop 45 in college game. Uh, got some juice about him. So, but we got them
43
talking too. So I think we go on the road and like you said, just take care of business down there. I think you want to, even though it is kind of awkward, you want to lock it up sooner rather than later. You don't want to have to beat State to win the Big Ten championship. They would love nothing more than to play spoiler for that. Even though we already got half of it. So I agree with that. I hate to circle the block, but this is the weirdest thing I forgot to bring up. Did you hear the conspiracy how we played with a different basketball in Duke game than we had Austin?
Did played with a like a tournament ball.
Yeah, versus the our sponsored Nike ball.
I'm mad at it.
I neither. I think is it anything regarding the shooting? Is I guess is my question.
Um, oh, I just think it was broke. I think I can't see Cador have another back. That was such a bad game that he had. Like that won't happen again. I think it literally is just like Kaysen is if Kaysen or McKinney is on, they probably win that game. Everybody was off except for Lindenberg.
No, for sure. I hate to derail. Just wanted to know, which I kind of forgot all about that. I wrote that down.
Yeah. What'd you think? You thought it was?
I I don't think basketball can make that much of a difference. But then again, I'm not gonna act like I was ever that high level of a hooper. And I know maybe if you are, maybe it's similar to a quarterback who I did damn sure would complain about the football. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, no, but that is like, you have like a Spalding opposed to them like glow in the dark, like little like the ball kind of feel like a tire.
hmm.
Like is I feel like there's some difference in like the ball. Like, I mean, I can't shoot, but like
Yeah, no, you definitely can. You can feel the difference, but I wouldn't say
Mhm.
I don't think I could say I shoot better with this ball than that ball. Like
I got you.
you know,
Yeah, yeah. No, I
yeah,
feel you. Yeah. But like, I think it just came down like off night,
for
neutral
sure.
site. But Mario he don't get two fouls to start the game. It's a whole different game,
Yeah, no, for
my
sure. And I
opinion.
think
A man's
going
played
back,
like 17
going back,
minutes.
I'd be willing to bet that happens to Duke a lot. Some random best player on the other team gets two fouls in the first 3 minutes of the game. I bet you just
Yeah.
statistically. But no. And then going back to our Pistons, like you said, it's we got to recap the Knicks. I believe so, and that's just Cade having a breakout game in Madison Square Garden, doing something that hadn't been done in Madison Square Garden since King James did back in like 2010 or
07.
11 or something. So
Yeah.
we going back to maybe the Big Rapid stomping days or possibly end of high school years here for us. And I think he honestly, if that second unit didn't come out so hot, he would have went for 50. But I just want to see what you had to say regarding that game, and then not so hot bounce back versus the Spurs. But
Yeah.
just to kind of shine the light on that first game,
Yeah. No, I think
he just breaks off the number 2 team in the East, the Knicks.
yeah, that's just what you want, man. That's just what you want out of your superstar. Fresh off the All-Star win, head coach, coaching the team, there with your running mate, lob threat, and you just go to Madison Square Garden and just take that over too. It was just so fun to watch. I mean, I literally like went from like laying down to like sitting up, like just kind of every time you got the ball, just it's gonna keep going in like this, and I don't know, it just felt so impactful. And I think the craziest thing to me, it didn't matter who was guarding him, didn't matter at all. They threw everybody at him. Like the coach might have been out there just trying to double or trap, and it just didn't matter. Like I feel like he was, five threes, the mid range, getting to the cup, the left handed dunk. I'm like, okay, now we're just, but yeah, complete control, and it was just impressive, man. Like I think they taking that loss in the playoffs seriously. Or they taking it real personal, and I just like how they just responded coming out the gate, came out flat on the road. Started off kind of slow, but finished strong for sure.
Yeah. No, I'll second a lot of that. And I think the team itself, just to piggyback on you saying taking it personal, I think the team itself seems to have a pride about them, particularly in the East. Like I think we want to take on the best teams in the East and kind of make our dominance known. And I think that's part of the progression of just where we are in the team. We both said win the East this year, we would be that's right about on par for maybe where you should be. Somewhere
Right.
teetering back and forth. Game 6, game 7, may possibly take it to the finals, see what happens. I think you got to get to the finals by getting through your conference, and I think we've shown our dominance on the Celtics. We've shown our dominance on the Knicks, particularly in that game. It's just Cade. I think I'm sitting there watching it with my wife or sitting there watching with here, and it's just like I'm watching it. And I'm telling her, I'm like, hey, do you see what he's doing? Like, I'm trying to get her attention. And the next thing you know, she's locked in because it's good basketball. He's dunking on people, step back threes. And then there was that point where I think he had like 38 points or something. Maybe he had already had the 40 point. And then he sits down at the top of the fourth, and we don't see him again until like 4 or 5 minutes left because the second unit started doing belt to ass, and they added to the point differential.
I need a
And then
Paul
so
Reed
he got
jersey.
right. We had a bad team. He would have took a 3-minute breather and been right back to it. And then still he came in, got like 2 more buckets, and then proceeded to get 5. 3, I think I counted. I think he got 4 assists in the final 5 minutes. So think about a less selfish player, a less, more scoring mentality. Instead of that 44 and 13, that would have been 50 and 10 or 50 and 8. It would have been but he wanted to get people involved. He understand, let's just live to see another day.
Yep, exactly.
Outside of that, you talk about Duran, since he's been suspended, he's coming back like a madman. And I know Ron Holland, even though we lost in that Spurs game, he had a little stretch where he was getting busy. We got the young boys stepping up in their own ways. Thompson's just kind of under radar, defensive sticky. I think so.
Yeah, the
The team was
physicality,
all there,
bro.
man. It's
And the physicality is jumping off the screen. Like, I mean, you just watch Cade like get to his spot. You watch Duran, the drop step, dropping the shoulder. I mean, you just got guys on defense. I mean, Osar is just like relentless. Rod Holland, relentless. You got guys, Javante Green, 1 year, 2.8 million. Just, I don't know. I just don't understand. Sometimes I just don't even understand what I'm watching. Yeah, averaging like 10, 11 blocks and steals a game. Like, it is just unreal. I mean, I'm watching Cade tonight. I think Cade, no lie, has 5 blocks tonight against OKC by himself. And they like these super, like, I don't know, just
no,
elite. And I know I'm getting off task, but I'm just like,
elite is a great way to put it. No, for sure. I think it's a great way to put it. And just look at the depth of the squad.
yeah,
Every night we're playing 9 guys. Every night
yeah,
of those 9 guys, minimum 7 across the board. You look, it's Cade at the top, then Duran, then Tobias, then it's like we have different. And when Cade has been on like he has from 3, which we said that he's been kind of slightly lower, and if he catches his steam, which he has since we've recorded, he I forgot, but I think maybe even going into the Spurs game in his last since the All-Star break, he was 17 to 30 or something from 3, something like pretty remarkable. And so you just we talk about one of the downfalls of the team is not having that firepower from 3. If he's gonna hit at that clip, Tobias Harris is pretty reliable.
yep,
Then you got a list of streak. I don't want to put Levert, but Levert kind of a streaky shooter. Then you got Duncan, obviously, and then outside of that, you got some couple of guys that can come and play. So I think that'd be the real difference maker for where this team goes in the playoff, because the roster's set minus some of the rumors of Khris Middleton that we're hearing about. And I don't know if we want to talk about that for a minute, but
yeah.
I think we should go all out on something like that. Since we didn't go all out at the trade deadline, we should be the first one. I don't even,
I
let's
think a
just go
guy
ahead
that
and
can go get you. I
or
think
something. Let's get him on the phone now.
I think a guy and I gotta look at Khris Middleton's stats this year, but I think a guy that can get you a bucket, take a little bit of pressure off of Cade, crunch time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, 14, 4 and 3.
Solid.
That's Hey, you can who's he playing for? Where's he at? Oh, okay, he's in Dallas. All right. Um, man, it shows how much I mean, hell, games
They
come
don't got
on. I
yeah,
can't even.
but they don't got no need for him. They don't got
No,
no.
they might as
Uh,
well. I mean, they might as well drop him off. I mean, they rebuilding. They got your boy Cooper Flag in there. But no, I think that'd be a great addition. I think that'd be a
yeah,
great, yeah.
flag. I give him a little respect. He's nicer than I thought he'd be. Him and that
You
Continental, bro. I gotta. I mean, fuck
got
Duke, but I gotta
you
give him
got to
more.
tip the cap. You got to tip the cap. Hey,
What's
they
that?
find
These white men are dangerous.
what they call exciting whites.
We got a couple of them out there.
Couple exciting whites, yeah. But yeah, no, man, it's that would be a great addition. I think having a guy like that, he had 25 the other night.
35% from three this season.
Yeah, that could be, that finishing lineup potentially with Asar, not a great free throw shooter. Having a little extra firepower in there, I think that'll help out Cade immensely. So fingers crossed on that. I didn't even know about that till you brought it up.
Yeah, I seen on Twitter. I don't think the buyout's happened yet, but they said um we'd be hot in the market for it if it happens. And I
Yeah,
think those are the type of things that just like last year with Schroeder. I think we don't finish as hard as we did without Schroeder. We probably don't have the outing we did in the playoffs without Schroeder. We that might have been a gentleman's sweep. That might have
yeah,
been.
no, for real. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's looking forward. They dropped a tough one to the Spurs, like you were saying, but I feel like they got some other matchups, Cavs, Spurs again, a couple other big time matchups that I'm looking forward to seeing how they respond going down the stretch here. About 25-ish games left of the regular season.
Sure. We ain't really getting too much of it, but you want to do 20 seconds left score prediction for Illinois? I'm gonna go ahead and say 80-68.
Okay, I'll say 79-65.
Yeah, go ahead and add another notch to our belt. Keep it
Lock it
going.
up, cut down the nets, celebrate it the right way.